Hi! Today I want to show you how to create sales order using CloudExtend Excel Data Management for NetSuite. We need to determine the header and the line level fields that we will be using and include all mandatory fields. Let's open NetSuite first and check the sales order form. So on the header level, I have customer, order number, date, status, and memo. And custom form, this is defaulted to the preferred form setup on your NetSuite. We should be using the field ID name from NetSuite. To get the field ID, just hover on the field name and then click it, and this will give you the field ID. We are sending data to NetSuite via web services, and this is the required name that we need to send it to NetSuite. Alright, so I already prepared the template beforehand, and this is how it looks like. I added all the header level fields first. I have Tran ID, which is the order number in NetSuite, and then entity, which corresponds to your customer job, and then Tran date, memo, and then order status. Here are my line level fields: item list item list quantity, item list tax code, item list amount, and item list description. Give your template a name, then load the template to Excel, and now you are ready to create records. NetSuite creates one record to lines that have identical header values. So if you want to create one record that contains 6 lines, header value should be repeated. I will enter a value on the Tran date field and repeat this 6 times. For the line level, I can select items from the drop-down since this is a list type field, or you can pull your list items from NetSuite and you can prepare the data beforehand. You can also copy-paste data from one sheet to another. I'm ready to send this to NetSuite, and let's click Update and Insert All Record. As you can see, this generated the same internal IDs for the 6 line items, and this is how it looks like in NetSuite. It created one record with 6 transaction lines. You can create multiple records in different ways. So if you want to use Tran date only, you can just update the date field accordingly. If I want to create 2 records here, I just need to update the Tran date field. Now I want this as one set, and this is the second set. And once I click Update and Insert All Records, since they have different header level values, this created 2 records. You can also use Tran date and memo fields or other header level fields. If you have the same Tran date value and you want to create multiple records, I can just put in the Tran date value that I want, and I can either use the memo field, external ID, and other header level fields and make it unique. So in this example, I have the dates, and then I will use memo field. This is sales order 1, sales order 2, sales order 3. And when I hit Insert, these created 3 records in NetSuite. Let's update existing sales order and manage recurring records. We can either use refresh and download. On using the refresh button, all you have to do is know the internal ID of the records. You can put multiple internal IDs on the internal ID field here on your template, and then once you're done, just click refresh and refresh all records. And you can update the values that you want and click Update and Insert All Records. Another way is to use the download button. By using the download button, you will need to create simple criteria to review the records from NetSuite. So I'm just going to use Tran date as an example. When I select Tran date, I will use this date range, and it will pull the records depending on my criteria. Once I hit download, all of those records will be embedded on the template. I'm just going to update this one set. So to do that, let me just leave the internal ID value and then make the changes and go to Update and Insert selected record. But if you want to create a brand new record from an existing one, all you have to do is clear out the internal ID field. And then if you have the tran ID, please remove that as well on your template and insert the record, and it will create a brand new record in NetSuite. Just a tip, if you want to update an existing record, make sure that you have the internal ID value on the internal ID field column because you are telling the system that you want to update an existing record. If you clear out the internal ID and tran ID, you are telling the system that you want to create a brand new record, so no need to create new records from scratch. Let's add a new item to an existing sales order. You can pull the record from NetSuite to your CloudExtend template and insert a row where you want the added line. Make sure to copy all the header level values and then put the details to your additional line items. You may clear out the line item line numbers so that the arrangement of the line items will be the same on how your entries are ordered in Excel. Click Upsert and upsert all records. Then the new line will be added to your existing record. You can also delete line items from an existing sales order. All you have to do is pull the record from your NetSuite to your CloudExtend template, highlight the rows that you want to remove, and then click Delete. Once you click Delete, you may upsert and send the current data that you have in your template that will update NetSuite record, removing the line items. Now you know how to manage sales order using CloudExtend. Hope you find this worthwhile. Thanks for watching.